Hello and welcome to a Game of Thrones mod for Crusader Kings 3. This is a mod that we have played many times before, but why are we playing it this time? Well, there are two main reasons, apart from it being fun. The first reason is it's one of the few total conversion mods which has been updated to work with All Under Heaven, which was the last big DLC for Crusader Kings 3. As you can see, one example of the new mechanics is that King Daeron II is now a hegemony level title, which changes the structure of the realm a little bit, and we'll look into that when we jump into the game. The second is that we have a great excuse to play this particular scenario, because they've very recently released a new series on TV, Night of the Seven Kingdoms, based on the Duncan Egg books. So, this gives us an excuse to play as Sir Duncan the Tall. However, fair warning, if you are watching that series and you haven't read the books, the mod is based on the books, and there will be spoilers immediately, because we're going to read the scenario in the top right, then we're going to read about Duncan, then we're going to jump in. So, there's your fair warning. So, the Shadows of Ashford. Shadows gather in the aftermath of the tournament at Ashford Meadow. Baelor Targaryen, Prince of Dragonstone, Hand of the King and Protector of the Realm, lies dead, tragically slain by his younger brother Maekar in the defense of a lowly hedge knight. The steady hand of Baelor Breakspear will never grace the Iron Throne. In his stead stands his son, the untested Prince Valar. He had come to Ashford seeking small glory, but leaves a changed man with the weight of the world on his shoulders. As a cloud of uncertainty grows over King's Landing, those seeking to threaten the Iron Throne grow emboldened. In the free city of Tyros, the children of the Black Dragon have come into their maturity under the watchful eye of their uncle, Bittersteel. Likewise, the Lord Reaper of Pike relishes the weakening of House Targaryen once more. Enemies can be seen in every shadow, waiting for the perfect moment to raise their banner to challenge the good king yet again. So that's the general scenario of the world, but specifically, what's going on with Duncan? An orphan from Fleabottom, with neither name nor prestige, Sir Duncan defied odds and thrust himself into the history of the realm by defeating Prince Aegon Targaryen in a trial of the Seven. Having proved his worth as a knight and warrior, Duncan now ventures across the realm as a hedge knight, with a new squire of royal birth at his side. Will Sir Duncan be able to teach his young squire humility and the other virtues of being a knight? Well, I guess we're going to have to find out. Let's jump in. In the Shadows of Ashford. A dead prince, an exiled prince in a grieving realm. This is all my dreams amounted to in Ashford. In my eagerness to be a great knight, I have cast a shadow over this tourney, one that I fear will stretch over the entire realm. Before this tourney I was a simple knight of the hedges, but now my name is known to the House of the Dragon, to lords low and high. If only I could ask Sir Arlan what to do. Sir Arlan is long gone, though. It is I that remains. It is I that emerged victorious from the trial of the Seven, and it is I Prince Maekar has seen value in as a knight. Though I have rejected his offer of service at Summerhall, I must still teach his son... Now, I say Aegon, but I'm fairly certain that it's meant to be Aegon, especially given his nickname of Egg, so we're going to switch to Aegon for this one. Even though I think in every other series I said Aegon, but we're going to go with Aegon. Teach his son Aegon, as Sir Arlan once taught me. Our journey begins now, but first we must step out from the shadows of Ashford and put this business behind us. So, we have two options. We can decide our own way, or we can go to Dorne to see the King of Aegon. So, let's go see the King of Aegon. That seems like a reasonable thing to do. And, well, I pretty much don't have any other direction right now. So let's do that. Now, it is a long trip. So, we're going to have to work out how we're going to do this. We're also going to run out of supplies, apparently, here. Although, that doesn't seem correct, because if it's going to cost us 646 provisions, and we have 2,500 provisions, we will not run out of supplies. That just doesn't add up. But anyway, let's do some rearranging here. So, immediately, we should visit Night Song, because that'll get us martial lifestyle experience. we should also visit the Lonely Watchtower. Here, is there an easier way around? That's 17% danger. I wonder if it's easier to go around this way. 27 there, but you could go across here. Yeah, that seems a little easier, actually. So we're going to head down to Rufter. Then into Skyreach. And actually, yeah, we don't need to adjust at all. We can just do this. So that gets us over here, and then we arrive there. Has a 25% chance of danger. Is there a better route? Oh wow, it's all the way down there. We could potentially head down this way, I suppose. Yeah, so I could say I want to head to Drywash. But I'd also want to head to here. And then to here. Then to here. Just trying to adjust it so that it actually... Yeah, there we go. So it doesn't take us through the dangerous province. Then we want to go down this way, all the way down. So we go to Drywash, then we head down here. Okay. That gets us down this way. Then we could head through this one. Slightly less dangerous. We're going to head all the way down to here. And then we're going to head to Shadow City. And, well, yeah. Then we arrive. So we got one slightly dangerous province. It thinks that we're going to use 500 provisions, which, given that we have 2,500, means that this is just incorrect. We are going to have plenty of provisions for our trip. So, yeah, I think we start traveling. And now we can have a look at the realm. So the realm is a little bit different than it used to be. So if we look at the Iron Throne, we will see that this is now a hegemony level title. Now, why does this matter? Why is this important? Why is this interesting? Well, the problem was before, right? This was an empire level title, which meant all of these titles here were kingdoms, which meant that the kingdoms had to have duchies underneath them, and the duchies had to have counties underneath them. That's not entirely true now, because now this is a hegemony title. These are now empire level titles, which means that they have kingdoms that can exist underneath them, which means you can have more powerful vassals underneath the Lord Paramountcies, which is interesting, because that gives you a different way of expanding. Because previously you had to be like a Duke level title and you had to expand much larger than the Duke would normally be and then take the Lord Paramountcy. But now you could build up your own kingdom underneath the Lord Paramountcy and get a lot more power that way. So I think it makes the going from small to big, or like from lower level title to higher level title path a little bit easier, which is definitely interesting. Yeah. Wonder if there are any empire... Oh no, there was one kingdom I saw already. Although interestingly, this one doesn't have an empire. Although it does, right? Because there's the Lord Paramountcy of the Crownlands. But there is a kingdom over here of Dragonstone. I don't know if it was always a kingdom though. But anyway, there's that one. I don't know if there are any other kingdoms that actually exist, because this one has the High Lordship of Shipbreaker Bay, so I guess that does exist. Yeah. Old Town, is that a kingdom? There you go, High Lordship of Old Town, there's an example. So previously that had to be a duchy, but now, because this is an empire, this can be a kingdom, and then it can have duchies underneath it. So it changes the structure of the game a little bit, which is interesting, I think. The other mechanic that I'm interested in getting into, although we're currently lowborn, so I can't actually look at that with us. That's interesting. Yeah, I wonder how we're going to sort that, or what we're going to do with that. But the mechanic that I'm interested in getting into is the house relations mechanic. Because I think that this could be quite interesting, starting from a small, from a very low title in that we're a landless adventurer, and then building ourselves up and getting a house relation with, say, House Targaryen, and using that to get good marriages, good alliances, and using that to advance. I think that could be quite interesting to interact with. So that's what we're going to do. But what are we going to do in the short term? In the short term, we're going to educate Egg. And that's basically our plan. How do we become not lowborn? I'm not entirely sure when the game will make us not lowborn, if we could ever become not lowborn. Not entirely sure. We'll have to think about that one. But anyway, we will think about that as we go through. Because it says there's no heir of your dynasty, but obviously our dynasty is currently lowborn. Huh. Interesting. I guess we could marry somebody, get a child, and then that child would probably have a dynasty or something, or that'll force it to give us one. But anyway, that's fine. Doesn't matter. Right. Let's head down here. Now, currently, we have a martial education, so we could go down this martial path. But if we're going to be a good educator to Egg, then I think that we would be better off looking at something like pedagogy here. Words can gain additional skills. I don't think there's any in here that help you. And then, well, I guess Groom to Rule wouldn't help, because Groom to Rule would be your children, which he isn't. So, yeah, I guess going in here and getting pedagogy would probably be a good idea. Even though it's not necessarily the best for Duncan, it's definitely going to be the best for Egg. Which I think should be our goal. We can have two goals in this series. One is to advance Sir Duncan the Tall's aspirations, and the other is to help Egg and his descendants and, yeah, the Targaryens as a whole. So, yeah, we'll see how that goes. Right. I think I need a Maester, right? Because the Maester is going to provide education bonuses. Yeah, so let's definitely search for a Maester. And then the other thing is, do I need a second? I have nobody who can be a second, so I guess not. Okay. That all seems fine. And then we can have a look at Egg. So Egg is currently diligent, stubborn, compassionate, and bossy. Okay, he's got the intelligent trait. We could influence his personality. Could try and make him humble, brave, or just. Brave would be good. Yeah, let's try and make him brave. We've only got an 18% chance, but we might as well try it. And beyond that, I don't think we have anything that we immediately need to do there. So, let's go on our trip. Speed 4. Of travels to come. Journeying through Green Key, I pass by a peculiar-looking tent splayed open with yet more peculiar-looking occupant inside. Come in, O mighty sir. I can tell you have many miles to go, and I can offer you a reading of your future travels for a modest price. The strange man has piqued the interest of my entourage, but am I willing to pay for a reading? I guess so, sure. Give us bad omens. Well, that's not good. Influence Ward's personality, brave failure. I approach my best friend Aegon and snatch him by the collar, spitting, "Strike me!" He quails, protesting. "But you are the sir." "Do it," I insist, until I'm hit across my grinning face. "Fear nothing, boy, for if you can strike me, what can't you do? Try, strive, fail. Then you'll die for honor, love, duty, all better than a meaningless deathbed." "But I," whimpers Aegon, "I don't want to die." Will I ever reach this lad? I guess not. The Wandering Acolyte. Jonas claims to have spent time studying at the Citadel, but without a Maester's chain, it's impossible to be certain. He apparently did not progress far in his studies. Although Jonas is not exactly who I had in mind, he is better than nothing. Well, he will have to do. So this is going to be our Maester. He is eccentric, impatient, and rude, but he's also good at being a physician, so he will have to do. A Band of Two. Passing through a back alley in Benton, I see a lonely child and his dog sitting in the corner behind a small wall. "Here you go, Valor," he tells it as he hands it a small piece of bread, keeping none for himself. Looking at the two, clearly the dog has been taken much better care of than its owner. The kid must be giving it everything he can find. So I can say, here's some food, child. Okay. Get kind ruler for 5 years, which is just a little opinion boost. I will take care of you. So Colin could join our camp. Colin, who is scaly. Or I don't have time for filthy orphans. I think for now we'll say here's some food. Yeah, I think we've already got a child to look after. Right. The martial contest. As we press through the market in Ben Tilling, we hear a loud yell and stumble into an ongoing tussle between two men, tightly observed by a group of people. The crowd cheers profusely as one of them is swept off his feet, face planted solemnly in the dirt, thus concluding the match. "Who's next?" the man yells into the crowd, and his eyes land on our group. His face splits into a malicious grin as he looks at us. Well, obviously we're going to take the challenge. I will do it. I won the duel. Fantastic. Okay. Let's see what else we can do with Egg. So we can't do a martial drill because he is currently 10 years old. He is lower than 10 years old. And I have no commander traits. We can't attempt to learn his language because he's younger than 10. We can't get him to study any languages because we have no valid targets. Yeah, so there's not a lot we can do with him until he becomes, well, 10 years old. Okay, that's fine. Let's carry on. Anything in here? I can ask my head of faith for gold. Yeah, I'll just ask the higher orcs for 100 gold. Sure, no problem. Right. Thank you very much for the money. A faithful visitor. The campfire crackles, illuminating a figure entering our circle. He moves with vigor despite the lateness of the hour, hand wrapped around a walking stick. Those standing guard are already intercepting, but I wave them away. "You have a place for a man of the Father." He smiles at me hopefully, dirty clothes rustling in the stiff breeze, a wandering septum. Such figures are well known in the faith of the Seven Circles. The travelling preacher spread the word of the Father to every nook and cranny of the world. I can try and recruit Beric the Strange, Wattle, to our camp. Okay. Stay a night and tell us of your stories will get us the Traveller trait, or must ask you to leave. I'm going to try and recruit him. We've recruited him. Wonderful. Okay. Awakening. It is nightfall, and a man is hard at work when we arrive at the cereal field south of Spear Feather. He appears to be flattening crops at a rapid pace, using a large flat piece of wood and heavy stones. I frown as I watch the man performing his labour, then inquire as to what exactly he is up to. He winces, then starts on a long rant about how we all need to wake up and meet our true masters, instead of hiding behind the false faith of the Seven Teachings. I take a few steps back in surprise. I'm gonna say, stop that, you heretic. Yeah, stop putting ideas into our head. Definitely don't want that. Also just gonna do this here so we have him marked at the side. Do we have anything in our camp that would be good to make here? Unlocks the fireside chat intent for camp revelry. Yes, we could do that. Camp perimeter would probably be good as well. We have camp hygiene here. Yeah, you know what? Let's upgrade it a little bit. Let's increase our travel speed and our travel safety. Given that we have a little bit of money to spend. Caught outside. Just as we're about to set out, it starts pouring down. Rain as far as the eye can see. I can't help but curse my poor luck. But I had seen the dark clouds come in for a while. If we want to make our journey on time, we have to set out, but it is a risky journey with the weather being what it is. Well, I'll just say an opportunity to rest. No reason to rush. And now we are off here. We visited Ironwood. Got some more martial experience for doing so. We'll continue on our trip down here. A study in martial. Theobald, the local captain, and a few of his officers greet me as my entourage enters the military camps of Kilburn. As he wanders off, I quickly dismount and follow him through the latest siege equipment. I nod, appreciating the organised chaos I'm observing. Now, what would Sir want to do next? Theobald looks at me expectantly. So, we can do some sparring. Yeah, I think that makes sense. We'll do some sparring. Increased our martial by 1. Who's our martial now? 15. That's very reasonable. Got some stewardship lifestyle experience and a dragon. I saw a dragon. As I make my way through Maiden Spring, I overhear a conversation between an older woman and a young man. A dragon, I saw a dragon, the older woman exclaims. What is it now, mother? It was as big as a mountain and black as night. It flew right across the sky, she continues in a panicked voice. Dragons now, is it? Her son replies, rolling his eyes. Please, mother, if you keep on like this, everyone in town will think you're crazy. I've got better things to do than listen to more of your fantasies, he says with a scoff, turning to walk away. You'll see, it was a dragon, she calls to his back. It'll kill us all, and then you'll believe me. Are we in a search for a dragon? I think we are. A dragon, we must search for it at once. No dragons here. Oh, alright then. Well, turns out she was mad. Or it was like a bird or something. And we have now arrived in Sunspear. So this seems like a good point for us to have a little look at our camp and sort out exactly what we're going to do in it. So we have a couple more people, so a second. That can be Beric. We'll increase all of our stats by 2. Very good. Caravan Master could be Jonas, although he's not very good at it, so maybe we'll wait and see if we can get somebody better. Chief Forager could be you. That would increase the provisions we get. Yeah. You could be your Chief Forager. That's okay. That's acceptable. Right. So now we've done that. We've arrived at Sunspear to meet Aegon's family, apparently. Who, I'm guessing, are here somewhere. At least in terms of what the dialogue said, but in terms of what we're going to do, there's a hired muscle scheme over here. The Lord of Husk Flats urgently seeks discreet swords for hire for short posting. Handsome reward offered for a swift, clean work. Let's go. So, he's going to be added to our roll of patrons. He'll pay us some money. Yeah, seems good. Let's accept the travel. Okay, so we're heading up this way, so let's just change how we're doing this here. So I do want to go through there, but I don't really want to go through this dangerous holding here. Yeah, that works for me. And let's just travel to accept. Now, I don't know, is this one is a scheme. So in theory, what we could have done here is we could have traveled here, and then we could have gone to do something else, like the create work of learning at the same time as the scheme, I think. But anyway, doesn't matter too much. Hired muscle. My needs are simple, explains Malian. There are certain thorns in the rows of bone shields, and I would have you remove these prickly characters. I can't be seen to remove them directly, so you're going to have to deal with them for me. I draw a thumb across my neck quizzically. No, clarifies my employer. No serious bloodshed, just keep them silent without killing them until they understand what it is to disrespect the Lord. Seems simple enough. Okay. Get on with our tasks. We're here to earn, or the sooner we're done, the sooner we're back on the road. Let's get on with our task here. Okay. So I only have 2 people who can join these. Realistically, I need it to be you, and I need it to be you. Because, yeah, I need to get success. So, let's do that, and then we'll just go to max speed. What's the point? Jonas has stopped bathing. Stopped even making an attempt to clean himself, even. A fact I am brutally confronted with when several of my followers beg me to deal with them. I know what you're thinking, sir, but it's not laziness. It's a drive for efficiency. I can actually do more work if I spend less time wiping away the sweat of the road. This is what a relentless focus on value looks like. He's mad, or fool, or both. And so your laziness goes too far. We can force him to wash. Okay. Make a good point, and I can also stink. Or simply right ahead, far ahead. I'm going to confront him over it. I'm going to say that you definitely should wash. Oh! The great spring sickness has started. Where has it started? Oh, right here. Okay, it's an apocalyptic plague. Well, that's not good. That's very not good. Hopefully we're fine down here, but yeah. Not good for the rest of the realm. Our camp perimeter is finished, although I can't help but feel maybe I should have upgraded... I was going to say anything that would help us with our plague stuff. But I might not have anything. Do you have anything that would help us against plagues? Nope. Okay. Cool. Well, for now, we don't have that much money to spend, so we will simply sit on it. Oh, the disease is spreading. All over everything. Yep. Yeah, that's not good. Followers gained a nickname. Jonas has become known as the Insane. Well, that's fair. That's fair. He was not washing mere seconds ago. Hey, egg is 10. Congratulations on being 10. I'm going to learn your language. Right. Ooh, succession for the Iron Throne. My lord, a letter marked with the seal of House Targaryen has arrived from King's Landing. King Daeron died from sunset plague. May he repose in peace. Valar Targaryen has been proclaimed the rightful successor to the 7 kingdoms of the Iron Throne. Okay. So he's dead. Now Valar is taking over. Well, we'll see how this goes. We're at 5 things here, which is okay. The only problem with being at 5 is that it's only a 50% chance. We can get up to a 76% chance if we get up to 20 keys. Without friends or protection. I'm interrupted from my stroll near the supply tent by the approach of a nervous stranger, a man who introduces himself as Valero, and is clearly as alien to Husk Flats as I. Lord, I find myself ill at ease in these lands, and I'd hope that so worldly a man as yourself might prove willing to take in a homeless disciple. Momentarily he pauses, steeling himself for a clearly expected rejection. I understand if you have too many people to care for, but if you'll have me, I'll serve you loyally all of your days. Okay. So this is a pretty good fighter from Bravos. Well, and say of course. Help him find a home elsewhere or be gone. I'll say of course. You can join us. Alright. So we now have Valerio. Or Valero. Okay. New Lord Commander on the wall. A raven has been brought from Castle Black, my liege. A messenger gives a quick bow and then hands me a letter to peruse. The recent passing of Lord Commander Ormond, who died of old age, the Sworn Brothers of Night's Watch have chosen Eldred as their new commander. Eldred being a lowborn. Okay. Disease is still absolutely everywhere. Let's carry on here. And we're at 9. Aches and pains. Oof. I find myself making such noises when sitting down at the campfire in the evening now. The elders always talk about how that happens when you get older, but I'm only 19. No, this is the wear and tear of a life lived rough. I can see the toll it takes on others too. Jonas winces a bit as he slumps down next to me. Then say the inn we passed had many spare beds, or we must soldier on. I'm going to say we must soldier on. We got a cricked neck for 5 years. Now, this one with 10 schemes means that we have a 5% increase, so we'd be at 61%. I don't think that's good enough. I want to keep going. Learning on the job. Also, I just realized something. I can get somebody else in here, right? I can get you in here as well. Oh, wonderful. That can go up to 79% now. That's great. Learning on the job. Of those I've chosen to involve in this little contract, Jonas is probably not the most, or the absolutely most skilled. Still, he's slowly applying himself, determined not to let my efforts go to waste, with the aim of improving his skill in matters of martial. Bettering yourself is costly, but it helps us all in the end. So I can try and say that he can go further, increasing his martial, although he won't like us for it. Credit goes to our mastermind. Or the plan goes well. I'm just going to say the plan goes well. That's okay. Okay, we're up to 68%. Ins and outs. As we trudge down the road, a building hoves into view. The battered sign outside reads, "The Lazy Hound, Inn." No luck here tonight. We barely got room for our current lodgers, let alone anyone new. Especially not you ragtag types. Ragtag? Oh, I'm going to go, oh well. And live with it. Unknown intentions. Today, Aegon encountered a party of unfamiliar visitors at the entrance to our camp. Startled by their presence, he swiftly fled and didn't emerge from wherever he had hidden himself until now. Clearly shaken by the encounter, Aegon approaches me with eyes lowered, fidgeting nervously. "They aren't coming back, are they?" he asks. "Please, don't let them come back. I don't want to see them again." Okay, so this would make him shy. I don't want him to be shy. We can say trust is most valuable when extended to only a few, or trust your instincts to sense danger is to be forewarned. Shy, paranoid, or craven? What a terrible set of traits. Well, craven is definitely the opposite of teaching him how to be a good knight, right? So that leaves us with paranoid or shy. I think paranoid is probably wrong as well for us here. So we will let him be shy, I guess. These enemies in every shadow. Yeah, I guess he has to be shy. As much as I hate it, it's not a good trait. Is there anything I can do about it? He already has 4 personality traits. I was hoping I could somehow get remove shy somehow, but he's kind of stuck with it, I think. Studious scheming. Valero is certainly an asset to my contract, providing skill, wisdom, and guidance as best he can at every turn. Most recently, that's meant offering to help tutor me in an effort to improve our overall chances. The offer is tempting, if presumptuous. You know what? We should accept. Yeah. He will attempt to use his skill to teach me. This is easier the better he is than we are. Okay. It was a waste of time, but that's okay. So, we can now fire this with for an 89% chance. We could keep going. We're only going to get 6% more chance on this, though, if we keep going, because I think it will cap at 95, so we might as well fire this, and then we can do other things. Yeah. So, does it tell us what the cap is? It does... Oh, total scheme success chance can never exceed a maximum of 100. Okay, so actually we can get up to 99%, so let's keep going. How's the disease looking? Oh, it's come and gone. It's passed over. Learn language, success. After lots of hard work, I finally learned the High Valyrian language. Endless hours practicing accentuation, sleepless nights, mimicking inflection, countless lessons mastering intonation. It was all worth it in the end. During my efforts, I looked to emulate Aegon's accent. I am sure he would be impressed with my results. And of course, High Valyrian peasants now respect me a great deal more. Since I feel accomplished, or I should send him a letter. I'm going to try sending him a letter. It comes across as dishonest mockery. Well, I have learned his language anyway. I'm going to continue asking the Head of Faith for money. Because apparently he's just offering it. Okay. Learning from the best. 2 of my agents, Valero and Jonas, seem to have found common ground, or common cause in our plan beyond the basic goal. Impressed by his compatriot's skill with the logistics, will, and leadership present required to hired muscle, Jonas has taken to studying what Valero does differently to himself in the hopes of improving his own skills. Harmless enough in theory, but it doesn't help our overall goal. I'd say excellent. Put the energy into the plan, or perhaps there's something I could learn from this. I'm just going to say excellent for now. We got a learning perk. I'm going to grab pedagogy. So, that means our wards can gain additional skills and can become our friends, which seems very useful. Follower gained a nickname. Valero the Shy. Okay, is he shy? He is. Alright, that's a good nickname then. It's truly fortunate that I'm afforded a chance to plan this contract with my friend, Valero, by my side. A better, more observant aide no man could ask for. Always willing to go the extra mile for our needs, always focused on how best to advance the contract. Most recently, his work has resulted in a shortcut that should save a significant amount of time. Excellent, 2 advantages. Oh, that means we only have to wait for this to go around one more time. Burning at both ends. It's clear my friend Valero is sincerely putting his all into my hired muscle contract, dedicating sleepless nights and long days to our goals. Perhaps it is cruel of me to use one who is dear to me so. Certainly I cannot say I would like to be used so. But still, he is effective, and it's for a good cause. And so you could do so much more. Spend a little time with me, or rest a while, you've done enough. Let's say rest a while, you've done enough. Which now means that we are at 100% success chance. Yes. Success! Fantastic. Wonderful job, Duncan. The Garden of Bone Shield is beautifully, blissfully silent, and I can rest a little easier at night. He tosses me a pouch of silver. Please stay with us the next time you're passing through the area. I'm sure we can find suitable lodgings, not to mention suitable employment for such an enterprising young explorer. we've a long path ahead of ourselves. And with that very apt message, we are going to end the episode there. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed the first episode, please consider liking, commenting, subscribing. All of that sort of stuff really helps with this series growth and with the channel growth. And I only mention it at the start of a series, so you won't hear it again until, well, I guess the next series. And yeah, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.